Ghetto Saravia here with another quick little lesson. This week, for the next few days, you will be working on a project on WeVideo. If you've never logged into WeVideo, remember you go to wevideo.com, you click on sign in, and you use Google to sign in, right? So you use your EGUSD ID and your regular password if you sign through Google, and then this is what WeVideo is going to look like. And you are going to create a new video. All right. And what is this video about? Well, for the past few days or the past week, we have been looking at the principles of design in photography, right? And so if you remember, last week we talked about symmetry and repetition and emphasis and light and contrast, grouping, right? So this is the project that you created in Canva last week. And that project was specifically for photography. But now we need to be able to recognize that stuff in video, right? Because the same concepts that apply to photography also apply to moving pictures, right? All of these principles of design are things that directors use to create beautiful compositions. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the next few days to create a quick video, a little music video that has these examples one by one, right? So you're creating kind of like a collection of the principles of design, but using videos, and you're gonna do that in WeVideo. Just as a reminder, I'm gonna have WeVideo on this side, and then I'm gonna have my Canva on this side. That's what I suggest you do as well, so that you can keep track of all of the principles that you need to add to your WeVideo project. Okay, so in WeVideo, what I'm gonna do first is I am going to start with changing the name, right? So here's my WeVideo project. I'm gonna change this to 2025 or whatever year it is. You put your quarter, let's put quarter one, and you're gonna put, let's call it design principles. Okay. Now that you have it, we are going to click on audio, and you're gonna find yourself a cool audio, just like the first video that we did. You want something with a strong beat because you will be editing to the music again. Okay, so let me find maybe something in the genre of hip hop. Let's see. And I'm not sure if the music is going to communicate over in the recording. Sometimes when I'm recording the lessons, the music doesn't show up. But this is a good song, and you might not be able to hear it on your end, but that's quite okay. I'm just going to bring the volume down a little bit. But even if you can't hear the music, you can see that there are beats to it, right? And so I'm going to use those beats to begin creating my video. Okay, and so what I need to do is I need to start with a title, obviously. So let's go to our titles. Let's see all titles. You can use any title that you want. I'm gonna drag this title down to my timeline under text. If I double click on the title, I can change this to design principles, right? And you can edit this. You can put it in the middle somewhere. You can change the color palette, you can change the font, whatever you want. So I'm gonna hit done, right? So I have that. And now what I'm gonna do is I am going to create a music video. And really what I want is I wanna find 2 video examples for each one of my principles of design, right? So we have 12 principles of design, which means that this video is going to have 24 different shots. Now, sometimes it's going to be very easy to find videos to add to your WeVideo project, right? Sometimes if you go to videos and you click on symmetry, right? That's the first concept that we have. Well, it's really easy. Look at this. This is a video that has perfect symmetry. You do want to find videos in which there is motion. You don't just want like a solid shot. But for example, yeah, see, that video has symmetry, right? You're looking at an image that looks mirrored on either side. What about this one? Oh, this one's great, right? A great symmetrical picture. If you divide it down in the middle, you can see that one side is the same as the other. So that one is a great example. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one, I think. Now, obviously, whichever video I use, you want to use a different one. And when you're editing these videos, remember the rules, right? The rule is you have to edit to the beat, and you have to make sure that your videos are very short. Your clips are very short. So this video is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's really long, right? If I zoom in, you want to make sure that your videos are no more than about 3 or 4 seconds a piece, right? So I'm going to put the video on the video layer, and immediately I am going to go to my text and add a little title. Maybe I'll try I'll go to titles. I'm going to look for maybe a lower third, right? A title that's at the bottom. I don't see any on titles. What about captions? Yeah, here we go. Under captions, you see something like that. Or maybe, yeah, that one's really nice. Oh, I like that one. So I'm going to drag that one in. And I'm going to type in symmetry, right? That's my first concept. For the secondary text, I'm going to put the definition of symmetry, so a mirrored, and done. And obviously this title is going to count for 2 of the videos that you find. So I found one symmetry video. Let's see if we can find another. Symmetry. Let's see what other symmetrical video. Remember, symmetry is when 2 sides of the video are exactly the same. And if you keep scrolling down, eventually you will find one. And that's the challenge for this particular assignment, right? It's that depending on the videos that you search for, sometimes it's going to be a little bit easier and sometimes it's going to be a little bit harder. Let's click on this one. That one's good, but it's not perfectly leveled, so it's not really perfectly symmetrical. You want to avoid graphics like this, right? I want you to actually find videos that are shot, oh, like this. This is perfect, right? This is symmetry. Notice that if you divide this in half, one half looks exactly the same as the other half. And so that is an excellent example of symmetry. I'm going to drag it in here. I'm going to make the video a little bit shorter, and I just got to make sure that I match it to the music. So I'm going to line up both videos to the drop, right? I think that's where it changes right here. Make this smaller. Let's see if this works. There's my title, and then the video is gonna drop in. Bam, symmetry. I am going to expand the second video just a little bit. Perfect, but notice that these 2 videos show symmetry, right? And so the idea is that you can recognize the concept in the video. Let's try for the next one, right? Let's try for repetition. again, you want to avoid graphics like this. I don't really want graphics. What I want is I want videos. And so repetition in video, it's a little bit harder to find, but there should be some as we scroll down. Let's see. Yep, this is great repetition, right? It's the same thing over and over. I love that. Cut it to about right there. You can use the split function. That's one. Let's see, what about this? That's repetition, right? That's the same object over and over. So is this. That's an example of repetition. So I can use either one of those videos. And again, we want video clips. We don't want graphics. That's a very important distinction. And just like that, I am going to go to text. I'm going to get the same primary text here, and I am going to double click, change the text to repetition, and add a bit of a really short description. Repetition is objects that get repeated over and over. Repeated. There it goes. Hit done. So here's my video so far. Two videos for symmetry. Two videos for repetition. There you go. And so you just keep going, right? Now for some videos, you can't really search for specific things. Maybe if you type in emphasis, you'll get some. But really, you can type almost anything and see if something comes up. Like let's say I do a car or a yellow car. Right? You gotta get creative with how you search for stuff. Now, this is even though it's not called emphasis, right? Like I didn't search for a video called emphasis. I know that if I search for a yellow car, I'm more than likely gonna get a really colorful car that stands out from its background, right? And that's emphasis. So for example, look, you see this little car, the yellow really stands out from the black in the back. And so that is an example of emphasis, right? Same if I put, I don't know, red flower. You see that? This red flower really stands out from the black backdrop. And so that is an example of emphasis. This is an example of emphasis, right? Something that gets emphasized. Does that make sense? For something like light and contrast, you can put black and white. Or you can put shadows, right? Because the big thing about light and contrast is shadows. And so look, that's a great example of light and contrast. Let's see, this is a great example of light and contrast, even though that looks a little computer generated. You want kind of realistic looking videos. Look at that, right? Light and contrast. Really bright areas, really dark areas. Does that make sense? And so you don't want to necessarily search for the name. It will work for some of the videos, but for other videos, you just have to get creative about what you search for in order to get the correct sort of video. And then kiddos, at the end of the day, you are going to have a video that is exactly 24 clips, right? At the end of the video, you do want to add credits. You want to fade out the music. There is no requirement for how long the video has to be. Okay, the video has to be as long as it needs to be, but just remember that you are cutting your clips down to less than 4 seconds to make it more interesting, and you absolutely need to edit to the beat. If you're not editing to the beat, and if your videos are too long, then obviously the project will not work out. And again, the idea is to get at least 2 separate videos for your um, for your music video for each of the concepts. So 2 for symmetry, 2 for repetition and pattern, 2 for emphasis, 2 for light and contrast, 2 for grouping, 2 for grid, 2 for rule of thirds, 2 for frame and frame, 2 for negative space, 2 for movement, 2 for complementary color, 2 for analogous color, 2 for scale, 2 for layers and contrast, 2 for leading lines, and 2 for texture. Right, so this will take you a little bit. You have the next 3 days to work on this, okay? And so maybe the first day, today, you just kind of gather all your videos and you just put them in a line, all 24 if you can find them. This should take you pretty much the whole entire class period. On the second day, you can start editing it to the music, cutting your videos down, and adding your titles. And then on day 3, you will be finalizing your video. Okay, after you are done with the video, you do need to click export. By the way, make sure that every once in a while you are saving your project. Okay, so just save your project. When you're done with your video project, you have all 24 videos. Hit export. Make sure that you export at a HD resolution, and under advanced settings you click on high quality. When you hit export, right, you want to click on share, and you will copy that URL to the Google Classroom once you are done with your video. All right, so hopefully I will have an example of what your video should look like in the Google Classroom. But the idea is that you are finding 2 clips for each concept, for a total of 24 clips, and turning this into a compelling, interesting music video with labels. All right, just so that I know that you are understanding these concepts and that you are able to recognize them not only in pictures but in videos as well. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense to you. I can't wait to see what you create, and we will have show and tell as soon as I get back on Thursday. So good luck with this. Enjoy it. Take your time with it. Make it really, really cool. Make something that you are proud of. And I'll see you when I get back.